Queen was incredibly vivacious as she arrived today for a ceremony in the White Drawing Room of Windsor Castle to present the NHS with a prestigious award and praise the rollout of a COVID vaccine. Dispelling her health concerns, a smiling Queen stood without her walking stick as she personally presented the George Cross to the NHS during the ceremony. The 96-year-old was joined by her eldest child, Prince Charles, for the event recognising the NHS for its courage, compassion and dedication during the pandemic and throughout the 70-plus years since its foundation. Among those attending the event hosted by the Queen were NHS England Chief Executive Amanda Pritchard and her counterparts from NHS Scotland and NHS Wales, Caroline Lamb and Judith Paget respectively, and Peter May, Permanent Secretary at the Department of Health and Chief Executive of Health and Social Care Northern Ireland. They were joined by a frontline worker from each of the home nations, including May Parsons, the nurse who delivered the world's first COVID-19 vaccine outside clinical trials to Maggie Keenan on December 8, 2020. Opting for a chic cream dress adorned with purple flowers, the 96-year-old monarch dazzled ceremony attendees. She finished off her outfit with a pair of black leather heels and her trademark pearls. Despite ongoing mobility issues, the Queen was on fine form and was photographed without her walking stick. When told about the nurse's historic first, Her Majesty made her guests laugh with the quip, "You're still alive." When the nurse told the Queen, "We're terribly, terribly proud of the vaccination rollout. It was so successful," she replied, "Yes, it was. Amazing." And when NHS England Chief Executive Amanda Pritchard highlighted the tens of millions who had been jabbed, the monarch said, "Tremendous." When the Queen asked, "And what are you going to do with it?" with regards to the medal, she was told by NHS England Chief Executive Amanda Pritchard it would go on tour of the NHS before being found a permanent home. Each health executive from the four nations and their frontline colleagues came up in turn to receive a George Cross, which had been placed on a cushion carried by the Queen's equerry, Lieutenant Colonel Tom White. The Queen touched the cushion in a gesture to symbolise its presentation. Lieutenant Colonel Michael Vernon, Controller of the Lord Chamberlain's Office, with responsibility for organising ceremonial events, read out the George Cross citation at the start of the ceremony. He said, "It was with great pleasure, on behalf of a grateful nation, that the George Cross is awarded to the National Health Service of the United Kingdom. The award recognises all NHS staff, past and present, across all disciplines and all four nations. Over more than 7 decades, and especially in recent times, you have supported the people of our country with courage, compassion and dedication, demonstrating the highest standards of public service. You have our enduring thanks and heartfelt appreciation." The award of the George Cross by the Queen is made on the advice of the George Cross Committee and the Prime Minister. This marks only the 3rd occasion on which it has been awarded to a collective body, country or organisation, rather than an individual. The George Cross was introduced by King George VI on the 24th of September 1940, during the height of the Blitz. The outstanding award recognises acts of the greatest heroism or of the most courageous in circumstances of extreme danger. Significantly, the award acknowledges actions by civilians and military personnel not in the face of the enemy. In 1942, the George Cross was conferred on Malta by George VI in recognition of the fortitude displayed by the island's inhabitants during enemy bombardments in the Second World War. And in 1999, the Queen awarded the George Cross to the Royal Ulster Constabulary in Northern Ireland in recognition of the force's bravery, including the families of those serving. The most recent recipient of the George Cross is Dominic Trolan, a retired British Army officer and former Royal Marine. Mr. Trolan was awarded the George Cross in June 2017 for his actions during the 2013 Watergate shopping centre attack in Nairobi, Kenya. NHS nurse May Parsons joined NHS Chief Executive Amanda Pritchard as the health service was awarded the George Cross. May famously made headlines when she delivered the world's first ever COVID-19 vaccination. Hailing from University Hospitals Coventry and Warwickshire Trust, May boldly administered the first vaccine outside of clinical trials to Maggie Keenan on the 8th of December 2020. Speaking of her achievement, May said, "I am humbled and honoured to be representing the NHS with Amanda when we are awarded the George Cross. It takes hundreds of thousands of us to make the NHS what it is today, and I'm so grateful to be part of it and attending this prestigious event on behalf of such a wonderful team of people, from nurses, doctors, healthcare assistants to many, many more." Today's engagement at Windsor comes after the Queen recently had her duties scaled back after Buckingham Palace formally rewrote her role. The move marks the first time Her Majesty's role has been altered significantly in nearly a decade. One job that the Queen will no longer undertake is the state opening of Parliament, which was previously considered a constitutional convention. The last time this was held, the Queen was represented by her eldest son, Prince Charles, who is first in line to the throne. The Prince of Wales read a speech as the monarch missed the event for the first time in nearly 60 years. The Queen has missed a number of events of late, citing mobility issues, and responsibilities have frequently been taken on by senior members of the royal family, including the Prince of Wales, the Duchess of Cornwall, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. Previously, the Queen's duties as head of state were detailed in a 13-point list, which included the appointment of the Prime Minister and paying and receiving state visits.